What's going on, guys? Someone had asked yesterday on the watch list if I could hop on quick in pre market. So, given that tomorrow is a day off, I figure I could do a little something something this morning. Start off here, might as well with the might as well the elephant in the room here with the war names, war related sector. And Husa offering here in pre market. It got sold off pretty hard, but so far holding up pretty well. So, like we say, these things, sector theme moves typically hang around longer than you expect. There is a bunch of resistance here overhead in like 1950s plus, where the looking left consolidation is. So no shock that it couldn't get up above there. But if this starts to break and build back over 1950s, that would put that game plan back on for Indo. But so far, not really anything I'm excited about there. RBNE also had another offering. They offered over here after the bounce day and then took advantage of that little rally and put out another offering there. So they're definitely taking advantage of the liquidity in these energy names. So just something to be careful of if you're swinging or holding anything overnight. There's definitely news risk and offering risk going into the next days. A bunch of these sympathies are not really gapping favorably towards the highs for those breakouts, possibly due to the gap downs of the sector leaders and some offerings. So OP still quite a ways off the highs. TMDE still quite a ways off the highs. EYEN, this one here holding up all right. We'll see if this one can start to break and build back over those 580s, 590s. Not the greatest action on these gap downs. Last time it broke out and gap down was sideways for most of the day. Prefers to gap up. The style of this name. SRM also gapping down. So a bunch of these liquidity traps not really holding up near their highs. The gap downs not really ideal. Exxon, Chevron. Yeah, don't chase those oil plays, yeah. Chevron, XOM. Yeah. Continuing on their highs. Really, this one's starting to get interesting. If this was up 70% or more, like maybe up here near $4, I'd be looking at like an overextension gap and crap. But given that it's only up about 40% this morning, not something I'm chomping at the bit to try and trade. So ideally continues higher. Could fail today, but I'd prefer it higher to get a short trade off on that one. We've got a bunch of 100% plus gappers. I think we're getting into that maximum dollar block territory, where volume just gets spread out across too many names. That I think maybe one of them gets caught as like the token child of the day, and the rest of them start to fizzle out. Hard to know which one that's going to be. APVO borrows are a bit expensive. I was looking at those early, and they're minimum 10 cents a share, so not ideal, but this thing is toxic as can be. They've got a bunch of dilution in the pipeline. PLTE and RYDE, a couple low price gappers. This one here up 170%. Ride up 140%. Ride so far with the failed fall through, where you got higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. Right here, first fail and retest. Now consolidating, looks like it wants to give up here for that rollover. So this one here looks like decent opportunity into failed fall through. APVO, once they turn on the dilution engines, I think that one gets sold. PLTE, don't really have a great opinion on this one. Still trending, steady highs. Probably gets hit eventually. There's just too many names with not enough volume to hold them all up. But CoreWeave, I haven't mentioned that one. This one here gapping up slightly, but right above green to red. If that snaps green to red, I think we get a little flush, and I'd look to react to that one into prior resistance, possibly becomes support. If it gets over 175, it likely starts to speed up, I think. LGHL, 70%. LSE, bunch of resistance, up 70%. Just too many gappers. I don't think it's gonna be a high volume day for me. Just the way a bunch of this stuff is gapping with the offerings throws wrenches in the plans. With breakouts that should have continuation gapping down. Not something I love to see. And then with those gappers is not something I'm typically sizing on. So yeah, not super interested in a ton of stuff right now. So I'll probably keep an eye on EYEN. That can start to build over the high fives. CoreWeave weak open flushes. Indo, if it gets back over red to green 19s, then I could probably keep the others on watch. But yeah, probably just take it easy. Probably just take it easy, I think. You bet, Timmy. No problem, no problem. Yeah. Still watching TMDE. I had OP and TMDE in the same basket. This one here barely gapping up. I would have preferred it closer up to those 250s. If this were to start to support over 250s, but a run from 210 to 250, that thing's already going to be up 20%, which isn't ideal. I would have preferred for it to be opening 230, 240, and then get that 250 break, and it's not up so much off the open. But yeah, I'll keep it on watch if it starts to maybe get some action like this, maybe a push, consolidate over 250 and start to build. Could be worth a watch, but again, it's connected to that whole energy sector that a bunch of the leaders are gapping down. You've got offerings in a few of the names, so I don't think demand is super high. If you can get those offering gap downs to start to get bought up and rip, then you can see buyers and demand starting to step in. But if it bagged a bunch of people that were chasing those breakouts yesterday and now they're all underwater, then it's not going to bode well for these cheaper sympathies. So just not super aggressive at the moment. No problem, Jenica. I appreciate it. Alrighty here, 10 minutes till the open. Over the guys over at Clover Trading are going to be going live here any minute over on YouTube, so feel free to check out their channel. I think they're going to be live trading there this morning. But yeah, that's my list today. Not super aggressive. Trade them well and stay safe, guys, and I will catch you later. Peace.